possibilities for African people to stay in their countries, not to leave and flee. But of course we need to talk about joint actions with readmission treaties, with possibility to return back some illegal migrants, to tackle their smuggling and contraband of people. So there is a lot of issues, and the situation is not yet taken care, neither in Europe, neither in the third countries. I mean not only Africa, but I mean also Turkey and other countries. So, but at least we have very good chance to talk between the European Union and African countries, and we are ready to sign trust fund opening today.
Do you think the fund will be one of the major solutions for this problem?
The fund is provided with 1.8 billion from the budget of the European Union, and I urged, as my colleague Juncker did yesterday, the member states of the European Union to put the same money on
And how is the relationship with the African counterparts?
Different, that's heterogeneous. We can't speak about one African continent. There is, for sure, the foreign affairs ministers of Eritrea has another view on democracy than the president of Mali, for example. So there is a heterogeneous landscape politically, but at the end this is not the decisive element. The decisive element is the necessary money available to make the action plan working.
You just mentioned that Europe has to contribute more.
How is the relationship with your European counterparts?
Excellent, excellent. Excellent cooperation with Kenya and the European Union. Thank you.
Why don't you close the borders? Why don't your country introduce border controls? Why?
Because we need to keep control over our borders. That's very important. So it's border control exactly according to the rules that we are adhering to the rules that we have in Europe. We can do this because when our authorities tells us we cannot guarantee the security and control over our borders, we need to listen to that, and that is why we took that decision. We're taking that decision today. And also the issue of the ID control. We need to make sure that people that get on the ferries on the way to Sweden, that they can identify themselves, because we need to make sure that we know who are coming to Sweden.
How did your colleagues react to that?
No, I think it's normal. We're all in a difficult situation. Sweden has received so many refugees, far more than any other countries per capita counted. So that is they understand what we're doing. Of course, they are also discussing and wondering how will it affect us.
The effort to have a more organised migration flow, more legal routes for migration. It's very important that Africa and European leaders are having this discussion, and that we will agree a declaration and an action plan today, and that we are now here this morning signing the trust fund.
And on readmission, how is the atmosphere? How are the talks?
Well, that's been a very important part of the negotiations. Clearly readmission and returns is one element, but I would say the discussions here have been quite broad in relation to the challenges that are connected to migration in countries of origin and transit. We've had much discussion on energy policy and climate change and the needs to develop the various economies of Africa and how Europe can help with that. So it's been a broad discussion, as well as focusing on some of those specific issues in the final document.
Would you call this summit a success?
I think any place where you have world leaders meeting together, particularly focusing on what is a great humanitarian crisis of our times, it is important that we get together and make decisions. The success will be seen in the implementation over the next number of months and years. There are short-term issues, but there are many medium and longer-term issues as well.
And the topics in the afternoon, like Sweden is introducing border controls, Slovenia is building a fence. How is the situation in the Union?
Well, I think it's very challenging at present. Countries of origin as well as countries of destination are finding this extremely challenging. And that's why solidarity is important, and that we work together to see what is the very best we can do in terms of managing these migration flows, because nobody wants to see people dying in the Mediterranean.
Of course, yes. What basically the summit is all about is to identify specifically what caused migration. And those issues are identified in the political document. the final declaration also summarized the entire issue. So it's about implementation. So I do agree that all parties will accede to this protocol, and immediately after acceding to it, the implementation will be forthcoming.
And the readmission, how difficult is that topic? How do you look at that?
Of course, the parties work through consensus. So what happened is that a lot of brainstorming, a lot of conversation, a lot of caucusing was done, and at the end of the day, we all agreed, to follow the common understanding towards achieving our objective in immigration.
Għadu kmini, pero ovvjament jidher li hemm commitment mill-ismajna jidhru li l-attitudni huma differenti milli kienu jkunu qabel u t-tama hija l-ewwel darba li tikollok deċiżjonijiet li maħudin fi sfond imbagħad ta' pjantazzjoni li għandu anki tragwardi li huma definiti. Issa jekk jitwettqux jew le jiddependi ħafna minn kull min qiegħed ikun involuti fil-pajjiżi partikolari. Kif ngħidu dejjem hija mhux problema faċli, problema li għandha ħafna kawżi tal-oriġini tagħha u wieħed irid jibda jattakkhom waħda waħda.
Il-Gvern Malti jħoss li għandu jerġa' jidaħħal ix-Schengen Agreement?
Jiddependi skont iċ-ċirkostanzi. Ifhimni, Schengen Agreement hija hemmhekk biex jgħin, però meta inti jkollok ċirkostanzi fejn taħseb li għall-ġurnata 2-3 jkollok bżonn iżommu, jkollok tagħmlu anki minħabba raġuni ta' sigurtà u stabilità fil-pajjiż.
Fil-konkret, kif tiddeskrivi il-summit leaders Afrikani? Kienu kooperati, kienu jikkoperaw ma'
Aktar għal-diskorsi tagħhom tara l-ewwel anke l-preżenza tagħhom hija wkoll biżżejjed.